to remind everybody that we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of migrants here illegally that have convicted of crimes. And why, I don't know why, who wants to defend that, to allow them to remain in our nation? They're that. And now if you're here illegally and you're committing crimes and those things, I don't know why anybody thinks that it's controversial that they all need to go.
Do you think that this was one of, if not the biggest issue for this election?
Well, I think if we can't, there's 47 of us in the Senate, and if we can't pull up with 7 votes, if we can't get at least 7 out of 47, and if we can't, then that's the reason why we lost. That's one of them. That's one of why we lost, in part.
Go ahead.
Brett, if you think.
Yo, John Fetterman, man, he's playing this smart, man. This man is the voice of reason for the Democrats. I think if Democrats had more people like John Fetterman on their party side, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I legitimately think that the country could actually get something done that's actually be fruitful and beneficial to the American populace. And he is a co-sponsor of the Lincoln Riley Act, if I remember correctly. And John Fetterman has been positioning himself somewhat as a centrist in some ways, in some issues. John Fetterman is the first Senate Democrat to step up and sponsor the Lincoln Riley Act, right? And he mentions in the beginning of the intro how one of the reasons that he believed the party lost is that he can't even get 7 Democrats to support a bill that is common sense and popular with the American people. So many people are phrasing this as an admonishment of the Democratic Party, but it has some truth, because like I'm gonna show you a 30-second clip of one of his colleagues, one of the Democrats' refusal to support the Lincoln Riley Act, and here's her rationale in 30 seconds.
Many of us in Congress are parents. Imagine your child is with a group of kids grabbing an after-school snack at a 7-Eleven, and one of them chooses to just snitch a little candy bar off the shelf. The shop owner calls the police, and all the kids are arrested for shoplifting. If your child is a DACA recipient, someone who has lived here nearly their entire life, they are now subject to mandatory detention under this bill. Many of us in Congress are parents.
So this is the kind of freak outs and narratives that the left wants you to believe. The radical left is going to vote against the Lincoln Riley Act with a squad member comparing Lincoln Riley's brutal murder to a kid shoplifting chips. Unreal. Unreal. This kind of thing is what gives this credence to this narrative that many Republicans like to cast on Democrats as being hysterical, right? Condescending, out of touch, tone deaf. You want to equate a murder to a kid stealing candy from a candy shop. And you forget the number one rule they broke. They broke the law by coming into this country illegally. Don't care about how you spin it, change it up. Oh, we're going to deport undocumented newcomers. That's what like they love to play these little word games. But the reality of the situation is that from the get-go, from the start, they should not have been allowed to stay in the country. That's the elephant in the room that Democrats don't want to address. And John Fetterman has the right on this. The fact that he can't even get 7 Democrats to agree to support him on the bill is one of the reasons why Democrats lost, especially with immigration being a big issue that it was in 2024. And these delusional people actually thought they had a chance to win. Here's a clip from John Fetterman also warning his fellow Democrats that them keep freaking out over every little thing Trump did, and Trump's not even in office yet. It's going to create the Democrat who cried foul fallacy scenario where the Democrats are going to freak out over something Donald Trump did, and people are going to be like, yeah, you freak out about everything, Democrats. And I think this is a smart thing. If Democrats listen, they should be listening to. And I believe the reason why John Fetterman is doing all this is that he just saw his state of Pennsylvania vote for Donald Trump at what, 4 or 5%? So he sees that, oh shoot, let me center myself a little bit. So I think a part of his openness to a common ground is due to the fact that he's in a lean red state right now. But, I digress. Let's take a look at his comments about Democrats freaking out over every little thing Donald Trump does. Let's take a look.
There'll be more of these parts. Go ahead.
Can I talk about, like, there's a lot of talk about Greenland, for example. Now, and I know there's a lot of freakouts, and of course I would never support taking it by force. But I do think I do think it's a responsible conversation if they were open to acquiring it, and whether just buying it outright. I mean, if anyone think that's bonkers, it's like, well, remember the Louisiana Purchase? Well, I think Alaska was a great deal too. $50 million, I think it was. It was referred to as Seward's Folly, and now that was Alaska now. So I mean, open to having all kinds of conversations as well. And now I don't think it's not helpful to freak out, but some things might work out, some may not, but that's part of an ongoing dialogue. But he hasn't even taken office in 2 weeks, and we really need to pace ourselves if we're going to freak out over every last tweet or every last conversation or press conference. But
That's good. That's a good one, John. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, we are here to work together.
Yeah.
And some things you can agree or disagree, but I think that's how DC works.
And
Yeah, there's something to this argument that John Fetterman is bringing up, because I have a clip here about a hysterical liberal going crazy over Trump having public discussions on, hey, should we buy Greenland? Hey, should we annex Canada? Because end of the day, here's some of the arguments that Donald Trump is having, and I'm trying to put them in the best light that I can. But Donald Trump argument for why he jokes around with, oh, Canada should be the 51st state of the United States is because of how much aid that we give to Canada. I think it's like $200 billion. I forget. I could be miscalculating here. But that's the total foreign aid package we give to Canada. And Donald Trump stated to Justin Trudeau before he lost his position as prime minister is that, damn, if you have to rip off the United States of America just to survive, then maybe it's time for you to become a 51st state. And I think this is what's leading into Trump's comments about him joking around and saying, yeah, we should have Canada as part of the United States of America. Now, leftists are going to say, yeah, do it. It'll make it'll make America more left leaning. But this is the thing that I can't stand about the left sometimes, is that they pick and choose when they want to take Donald Trump seriously and not seriously, right? When Donald Trump says, hey, I want to boost up the economy, they don't want to take they don't want to take him seriously then. But when he makes a joke, oh, I want to annex Canada. Oh my God. Right? And Trump talked about Greenland. I never heard he doesn't want to rule out military. And the reason why Trump doesn't want to rule out military is he doesn't want to commit to not using an option, right? That hurts you in negotiations, right? One of the key things in negotiation, like let's say you want to buy a car, you don't quite want to give all the information about your situation. Because if you give all the financial information that you have to the dealer, to the car salesman, you give him more strength in negotiations than when you say, I want to lower the price. What do you mean you want to lower the price? You already have half the down payment. I can't lower the price any shorter than this. Oh. You hurt your negotiating position, right? When you say, hey, I only can give you $5,000 and the car costs $30,000, he's more willing to work with the price of the car. But if he finds out you have 50, 20K cash that you can use on the car, he's going to be less likely to lower the price on the car because he sees it as, yo, I'm not going to make much interest on this car, so I'm not willing to lower that price. Negotiations. And this is what the media keep trying to do. In a way, through their questions, it's almost like they want Donald Trump to take options off the table. When if you want to negotiate from a position of strength, you have to have all available options. So that way your opponent takes seriously your terms. And I think what John Fetterman pointed out about the liberal freakout is a prime example of why many people don't take, like myself, for instance, I'm an independent voter. I'm a non-party affiliated voter. One of the reasons why I don't take the Democrats seriously is many of their voters do ish like this.
Usually, we don't go around peacefully acquiring sovereign countries, including and especially giant ones like Canada that are doing just fine without us. So,
are they?
I
don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how.
So you see, I don't know if it's a nervous laugh. I don't know, but this is where you guys come across as condescending, right? Because I just pointed out that Canada is very reliant on our aid. Like they're very reliant on our business. Our production, they're very reliant on it. This is why when Trump said that he was going to put a 25% tariff on Canada, they came running to the table. Justin Trudeau came running. They making skits about how Justin Trudeau bend the knee to Trump, right? So this pretend narrative, they could do so much they could do so much better without us. okay, let's not give them foreign aid then if they're so much better without us. Let's stop giving money to Canada's economy if they're so much better without us. And this relies the problem. They don't recognize the reality of the interdependence that America and Canada have with each other. But the reality is Canada is more dependent on the U.S. than the U.S. is dependent on Canada.
Well, they're doing. They're throwing out their prime minister.
True.
And I don't know if they're doing well or not.
Well, you think they need Trump to buy them?
Acquire us?
Yeah, we just got rid of our president.
Throwing out your prime minister is the reason.
I don't know. I mean, people there seem unhappy to me.
Can I say something? This is a Trump.
Usually we don't.
Yeah, so usually acting hysterical like that doesn't really bring your argument to fruition. But yeah, I think that this is John Fetterman's way of trying to be more centrist because he saw what happened in this election. He could be playing politics. Fetterman signals he's voting for Trump's nominees. That's the way democracy works, right? So he's trying to put himself as a common sense individual, and it's working. I think a lot of people look at Fetterman more favorably now, and given his actions, given his behaviors, he's backing up his talk with action. So many people are trusting Fetterman, and I won't be surprised in 2026 if Fetterman's still the senator for Pennsylvania. But I digress. I think that's all I wanted to say about the Fetterman signaling him being more centrist compared to the rest of the Democrats. And I think if Democrats were smart, they'll follow Fetterman's lead on this. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts about Fetterman. What you perceive. Do you think along the lines with me that it's political and he's just making a political calculation? Do you think this is sincere? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.